Hi students, this is a video on Canva. Okay, you have set up your account. That was a separate video. Now we're going to learn about Canva. Okay, like I said, Canva is a design, um, graphic design program. Now, this is, you're not a graphic design major, and I realize that, but you are going to be in office settings. And yes, you're going to learn about Microsoft everything here at Clark State. However, Canva is an online graphic design, but it's not just like graphic design only. Okay, they say that because you are designing the actual documents, but you can see here we have all different types. Okay, they do have, it says educational. That's education stuff. Sheets, which is like a spreadsheet. They've got docs. Whiteboard is something you would use like for a presentation. Presentations, which is like PowerPoint. There's even social media, photo editor, video, and then so forth and so on. So this is something like if you go into an office, to think about it this way, and granted, there's all kinds of templates I know in PowerPoint and in Word. I know that, but this is something. It is free, but it is something to make your creativity even easier. Okay, it's becoming more mainstreamed than slowly. But a lot of companies use it for different things. But if you're in a place and you're looking for something different, something unique, here's a great place. Now, the one thing you can do is you see where it says brand. Now, this is the paid part. When you see the little icon that looks like a crown, like a king's crown, you want to know that that's the paid. Okay, that's the pro level. Okay, so obviously, if it's something you're just starting out, obviously you won't put the brand stuff in there for your company. But it's something the company's already using. They may have the brand in there. It's just a lot of different possibilities. Okay, especially if you're in a more modern, newer company, that could be an option. But it's also something you were in that position that something you try this. It's something to think of as possibility to introduce as another option. Sometimes people just get tired of Microsoft stuff. Okay, so this is just another one. This is another 21st century digital technology for the administrative assistants, and that includes your medical as well. These are things that can happen anywhere. Now you're going to see in my main screen says recent designs. These are just some of my things that I have done or I played with or whatever it may be. Okay. But what you are going to do is you are going to search right here. Okay. And it's already on templates because you can do your designs or you go right into templates. And you search here and you can see it's already popping up. And as you can see, I've done the event schedule on here. Okay. So you put event schedule in. Hopefully this is not running too slow for me. Okay. Mine computer's been a little slow with this. If it is a little slow, just be patient with it. The other tip is to just come up here, or over here, excuse me, and hit the refresh, reload the page. It automatically saves. Okay, it's online, so it's like Google, continuously saves. Okay, all right. So, and then you're going to find an event schedule. There's no particular one that you will have to use, okay? I want to see some creativity. I want to see some uniqueness, okay? I want you to think on your own, okay? You to come up with that. You have the content that is given in the assignment. And you may want, and I recommend you looking at that so you know how much you have to have. Now, for an example, yes, the content you need is more than this example, okay? Now, this is for the pros, so you won't see this example, but I'm just using it as an example for something I want to explain to you. But you see how there's only 4 different slots? You can still use that. You just have to add some more, well, really, those are text boxes, is what those are, okay? But be creative, finding unique. Like I said, the ones with the little crown on it, you cannot use because it's actually for the pro, and you're not paying for this, so do not pay for it. Okay, it's not required for this class. But you can see we have some different ones here that do not have that symbol, and they still have some offer stuff for the free option. Okay. It's a little bit more limiting, as you can see, but it'll work, okay? So let's just see if we find one. All right. So here's one. It says upcoming events, okay? And that's fine. So we're going to just try to use this one for an example. And like I said, mine's just running a little slow, so you're just going to have to be patient with me. I don't know if it's my internet at the moment or my computer or what. Okay. And you may have to be patient with yours at home depending on your internet. Okay. And yours might be a little faster because it doesn't have the robust, the pros. Okay. So here we are. You pull it in. Now, it looks small. Well, the first thing you find out is right down here is your zoom. So you make it bigger and you can make it smaller. Okay. Now, if you move your mouse over to the different parts, you're going to see this little box pop up. Those are text boxes. Okay. So you, if you've already taken Microsoft ITS 1105, you're familiar with this, or you may have worked with text boxes somewhere else. But if you haven't, I'm going to show you how to use these. For instance, okay, my top. Even though it says all the information like this isn't one I'm going to put in. Okay, so I'm just going to click in here, double click in, and I'm going to type the title event schedule. Okay, and then the date. Okay, do you have to do this format? No. Okay, the format for this course should be, because this is what you're going to do in your document production class. All right, and the location we know is conference room. Okay, and you could put Smith Company. Okay, or typically if you have an actual company logo, you want to put that in. Okay, so that's one important thing. All right, now we've got this. Okay, now you get the date. Okay, now could you change the font size? Yes. Okay, so let's just look at this text box. How can I change the font size? Okay, this should look very familiar like you would in Word. You can do the different font. Now, types. Now, list. This is one thing important. This document is only using this. Okay, if you want to change it to a different font, you need to make sure the font type is consistent throughout. If you're going to do the title in one font and the rest in a different font that are close to, that are similar, that's fine. But consistency, and this is like a graphic design tip. Consistency within the document, and this is even for OED 1102, the same font style is very important. I would like to call appearance, put in simple terms. Okay. So, because you are basically in a way in 1102 and 1101, excuse me, and 1102, the document production, you are creating documents. All right, they're just maybe not as fancy. All right, now, this is where you can go and add the different things. Now, this has a time, okay? You could put the times like that, okay? Does it have to be like the, left and then to the right? No. Okay, you can change it. Click in here. Just double click. All right. And you can do, just follow the information that's provided in the assignment. And you can continue on. Okay. Now, could you leave this just as it is? Yes, you could. I mean, it's acceptable. Now, you don't need the registration stuff, right? So you can actually just click on it and delete it right there. We don't need the website, so you can click on it and um, that's fine. Now, but the big thing is if your company has a certain font color and stuff, you should actually follow that, okay? When it's called branding is what that's called. All right, but if they're not picky, then you don't have to worry about it. All right, but if I wanted to change this background on this text box, I click on it and you'll see, okay, my selection of things I can do here. And you can click right here and this will change your color, okay? Now, like I said, there will be, if you start branding, it'll be there, okay? But don't worry about that for this, okay? But if you wanted to change it to, let's see, a rust brown, you could do that. Or there's even see all, and it gives you even more. So maybe that brown's a little too dark. Maybe you want to lighten it up a little bit, okay? Maybe it's October and you want to make it like an orange, okay? But now that you've done this, notice it doesn't match this font, okay? So you're going to have to change that. Now, how could I do that and change them all at once, okay? Instead of doing each individual. Well, you would do that is you click on the one and then you hold down your shift key and you can continue on your keyboard and keep clicking. Make sure you only get what you need and then change the font color. And you'll see right here, see it shows you your document color. So there's your, right there, your document, okay? And click on it, it changes the whole thing. Okay, so that is your text color. And you have the wonderful screen tips as well. Okay. Now, say you had the one that didn't have enough. How could I get more, boxes without having to create it and do all this crazy stuff? Well, the simplest thing is for you to select, okay? So I'm going to show you a tip. One thing you can do is you can select a lot of content by clicking right here in this corner, left click on your mouse, and it starts giving you a box. And you drag it all the way down to all the content and let go. And notice it actually selected everything. Okay? So you can it could help you make changes if it's for everything, but it can also help you select everything, okay, at once. But I don't need all that. I'm just going to do 2 at a time because it's just too crazy. So I can do it even with that, okay? And then I'm going to group this because then it's not, you can group these boxes. Instead of it being individual, you can make it all one piece because when it copies, then it's less to manipulate. So right here, it gives me that nice little button for a group, and I'm going to group it. All right. Now, to duplicate it, you have a really nice, or copy it, nice button right here to click on that, and it does that. Then I'm going to left click and drag it down to add more sections. Now, because I don't need this, that's okay, but I just want to show you this for those who might need this. Ungroup it then, and then start, doing things. Now, the big thing is when you do that, okay, and you remember there's an undo right here. Okay, undo is right here. Even goes to that screen shortcut, keyboard shortcut of Control Z. But you see this, it's in editing mode. Also, make sure you change it to the file you need, the event schedule. That should be the title. All right. But when you move things, notice this isn't lined up. Whoops. Oh no, I don't get that whole thing. All right. I'm going to whoops. And it is a little tricky sometimes. I'm going to go over here, I think. All right, left click, drag. Now look, I want to show. See these little lines that pop up? It is helping you to align this, okay? This is also in Word and also in PowerPoint. It's not uncommon, okay? It's also in the Google products as well. But anyways, this is your, way for you to move that, okay? Now, again, you can scroll down and things. Yes, you can add a page. You won't need to do that, but you can be more than one page on here. But here's your zoom, okay? So if you're having difficulty seeing things, and you can click on it and get that much closer, okay? So it is allows for adjustability. I always recommend though to bring it in so you can see the full document before you you download it. And that's one thing. Okay, you're online. Okay, this is online. You have to download it. Okay, those of you that may have been had at Google, and your schools, or use it on your personal, you may be familiar with this. But this is an online application. So you have to download it. So you're going to go over to File, and you're going to download it. Okay, yes. It's going to only do, well, it's going to come in an image. We don't want that. You need to change it right here to a standard PDF. And it's going to download it as a PDF. Okay? And that's what you want. Okay? We're not doing any printing or anything. You see the print. No, we don't need to do that. Just download it, and it will accept it. Canva will accept PDFs. Okay? And then you download it. I tested it. And there you are. And then you will go now into your assignment and upload it from there. Now, granted, this isn't my perfect one. The big thing is I want you to do is you check on your spelling, make sure nothing is misspelled, all that, and looks all nice and neat and organized. Okay, there is a rubric tied to the assignment. Okay. All right, if you have any questions, just contact me. Thank you.